Hello again and welcome to the program. I am Suren. In addition to what I have been discussing with you, I would like to talk to you about meditation. Do you know what meditation is? Have you ever done that? First of all, it is a method of relaxing the body which became popular in many countries during 1970s. It is said that Maharishi Mahesh Yogi had developed it in 1950s. He used the word transcendental to describe the process of reaching a state of pure consciousness, where the person is no longer aware of anything in particular. It is claimed that people using this technique became happier and more relaxed and were creative. There are several centers all around the world, including the US and Canada and Australia, that teach meditation. Now the followers of Maharishi called it as TM, Transcendental Meditation. I will call it simply the science of creative intelligence. What I am about to present to you now, my children, and in fact all my ex-family members, under the influence of the cult they followed and worshipped, would never ever accept, considering it all as devil worship under their superstitious beliefs they have been subjected to. All I can do now is, I wish they would listen to reason and logic as I present the rest of the program. I say this because I know that some may be discreetly watching this episode. If so, all I wanted to tell them is that all they were talking about were false assumptions about me, but they have been forgiven. I don't like carrying heavy weights in my journey of life, as I repeated myself, and offering them only my love and my sympathy, hoping that one day they will learn a little bit about me and accept, but it is a very distant dream. They all assumed that the practice of the following subject was only to commune with the evil spirits, remembering that they all considered all communication with so-called spirits evil. However, that is not the subject. I need to talk to you today something totally different. Let's go to the subject of importance, which follows. People practicing meditation sit quietly in a comfortable position, usually. And they chose to close their eyes and silently repeat a certain mantra, a pleasant-sounding word, probably from the Hindu scriptures. But it no longer is the current practice of meditation, although there are those students who still continue with it. It is accepted by scientists, psychologists, and other practitioners of mental health. Usually, the teachers of such meditation choose a personal mantra for each student. People practicing meditation do so for 15 to 20 minutes in the morning and the evening, or even before meals. Studies show that certain bodily changes occur when meditating. The rate of breathing, the amount of oxygen taken in by the body decrease at those times. Blood pressure and the state of heartbeat also fall while the person meditates. Researchers and scientists found that alpha waves, which are brain waves, that become prominent when a person is relaxed in intensity during meditation. Psychologists report that people who practice meditation feel less anxious or aggressive than before and can handle stress easier. Some scientists believe that meditation causes these kind of changes because people usually have faith in this method and expect it to help them. The Maharishi claim that people cannot meditate effectively without learning from a TM, Transcendental Meditation teacher, and the use of a mantra. However, many scientists declare that other forms of meditation and relaxation can produce exactly the same result. Once upon a time, there was a philosophy which still is being practiced, and it was called Transcendentalism. It became extremely influential during the late 1700s and 1800s. It was based on the belief that knowledge is not limited to solely derived from experience and observation. It opposed the philosophy of empiricism, that knowledge comes from experience. Transcendentalism also declared that there is a solution to human problems, which rely on a free development of individuals' emotions. Many elements of this science is found in the new Platonic philosophy of ancient Greece. But the main source of transcendentalist idea was the critique of pure reason in 1781 by the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. It has started amongst Unitarians in New England and reached its peak during the 1840s. Ralph Waldo Emerson was the leading American transcendentalist. He taught that the physical world is secondary to the spiritual world. And he said, the physical world serves humanity by providing useful goods and by making human beings aware of beauty. He believed that people should learn as much as possible through observation and science. However, he insisted that they should adjust their lives primarily to the truth. Hypnosis that can see through reason. The following induction serves as a signal to your deeper, unconscious, back of the mind self. That is to be a guide if you decide to use it. Your conscious, front of the mind self, will be the only passenger on this journey because you are doing something you and your conscious self may be skeptical to start with. 1. Do you feel that you simply do not have any time to meditate? However, know that it will be more than pay back the time by helping you work more efficiently, benefiting your health, and taking you on a journey. 2. Do you fear that you may not be able to concentrate? Don't worry, and don't try to shut out distractions. Just let the thoughts come into your mind. Observe them as they float through, and then let them go. 3. Do you feel you have become less real if you are not acting, responding, or being responded to? Remember that as you sit quietly, you are an active part of the universe. As it was explained by a meteorologist, believe it or not, the tiny air currents that, similar to a butterfly, creates travel across thousands of miles, jostling other breezes as they go, and eventually changing the weather. Like the air moved by a butterfly, even your breath travels miles and miles and links you to all things, large and small. 4. Are you afraid of what you may discover if you turn inward? Your unconscious self can be trusted to take care of you. It is this part that always protects you, even when you are asleep. As it sends off feelings and images, the conscious and observing mind will become more interested and trusting. 5. Do you feel skeptical about this process, or about whether it is right for you? Then proceed as if you believed. Have a notebook with you in which to jot down your impressions after each of these voyages, even if they are only in phrases and fragments. Your conscious self will discover associations, patterns, and insights that may help you to understand events in the past and how they are shaping your present and how you would like them to shape the future. Now going to enter the inner space. Early morning or another quiet time, take a half hour for yourself. Find a comfortable chair which is supportive to your back, and turn off your phone and other distractions. If this may be not possible or is impossible where you live, find the public library or a religious space at a church perhaps, or other quiet place for you or for your partner to absorb instructions as follows. Sit with your back supported, feet flat on the floor, hands resting on your lap, with palms turned upward. Bring your consciousness to one part of your body at a time, tensing each area as hard as you can, then just letting it go. Feel the heaviness in each part of your body as you let it go. Start with your toes, feet, calves, thighs, then the muscles of your torso, shoulders, hands, your face. Tensing each area, then letting go. Now feel your head balancing easily over your shoulders. Let your body center itself. Inhale deeply and slowly. Feel your ribs expand and your belly push out as you slowly inhale. Then exhale the air more slowly. Then you breathe in. Do this 6 times with consciousness. Feel the cool air as you breathe it in and the warmer air as you breathe it out. Feel your body become larger with each inward breath and smaller with each outward breath. Now forget about your breath completely and just feel the balance as you slowly close your eyes. Relax your eyelids, your forehead, relax your jaw. Let your mind settle. If thoughts float up to the surface, don't resist them or pursue them. Just observe each one as it arrives, and then let it go. Ask the back of your mind to imagine a safe place. It may be a room you want new or a place you once cherished. It may be a place you have never seen before, except this imagination of it. A beach, mountaintop, a sunny room has just come. Trust them. If they don't come right away, just relax and wait. If they still don't come, imagine what a safe place would be like if you could imagine it. Look around at this special place. What colors do you see? Run a hand over a surface near you. How does it feel? Are there special smells in this place? Are there tastes that part of this place? Can you feel the sun, the air, a breeze? What sounds do you hear? Notice which of your senses is the clearest or comes most quickly. Those are the strongest bridges to the safe place. You will be able to recall those feelings in everyday life when you need to feel safe. When you visit this place again, you may want to spend more time imagining with other senses and strengthening them too. Now, just relax and be in this place. Nothing can happen here except what you wish to happen. If anything unwelcome appears, you will imagine it away. Only good things can happen to you here. Your unconscious is taking care of you. It has brought you to this special place of peace, restfulness, safety, and discovery. Do you notice feelings? What is it about this place that makes you feel safe? Are there absences of things that give you that feeling? What other images, feelings, and associations do you notice? Let your conscious mind observe the gifts your unconscious is bringing to you. When your thoughts slip out of this place and you simply feel enough time has elapsed, you are ready to return. When you are back in your daily life, you will know that this place of peace and well-being exists within you. It will always be there whenever you need it. You will awaken feeling refreshed, centered, strong, and peaceful. Now inhale deeply and slowly as you count to number 6. Then exhale as you count to 3. Do this several times and feel the energy returning to your body. On the last count of 3, open your eyes slowly. You have visited the home of your true self. Now let us meet your own little child of the past. After you have done the first exercise for a few days, or whenever your curiosity signals that it is time, go through the steps of the induction. But this time, you are going to ask your inner child of the past to join you. Read endless through this additional stage of induction and record. Remember of sharing it. And then add it to the first stage. Take a moment or two to be aware of your feelings about today's adventure. Are you fearful of this meeting or eager for discoveries? Is this young child a familiar part of you? Or someone you have tried to forget? The emotion is less important than your ability to feel it. Allow an image of your inner child to float to the surface from the back of the mind. Trust whatever comes, a shadow figure of an image from an old photograph perhaps, a version of the child you have never seen before, or an infant, a teenager, a little child who runs to you, one who ignores you or turns away from you. Before you reach out to this child, ask yourself what emotions she or he evokes in you. Do you feel happy? Or do you feel ashamed? Do you feel angry or impatient? Do you feel different or affectionate? Do you feel awkward or at ease? Judgmental or accepting? Once you have sent to this, ask another question. Am I feeling this very way toward my inner child because my mother, father, or other caretaker felt this way towards me? If so, take some time to understand that you did not invent this feeling. It was given to you. It is not yours. It can be changed. Stay with these thoughts for this first meditation, or come back to them for as long as you need. Invite that child to be with you, but respect the child's response. If she or he is not ready yet, that is fine. Explain that this is a special place where you do only what you wish. Your inner child may have been forced to pretend in the past, and it is important that this does not happen here. Try waiting until the child speaks to you. And if the child is not ready yet, just stay there quietly and observe this child of the past. There will be a next time. There is plenty of time. After the child does talk or come to you, see if he or she would like to be hugged or sit on your lap. Feel the warmth and the weight of the child's body. Its contrast in size with yours. A small hand in your hand. The texture of skin and hair. Take a moment to be aware of the emotions this evokes in you and the child. If the child comes to you easily and is open and happy, you might say, I am your friend from the future. I am here because I love you. I want to learn from you. If the child is shy, unhappy, or afraid, you might say, I have come from the future to help you and love you. I will protect you. Just tell me what you want and need. At any point along the way, one of you may sense that you have come as far as you want to for today. That is fine. Assure the child that this special place will always be here, whenever you need it. If the child is troubled or lonely, you might leave a part of yourself to comfort the child and tell him or her that you are doing this if the child has, as spontaneity or other qualities you feel have lost. You might ask a part of the child to stay with you after you return, and this could be a sock or a piece of material, a piece of paper, pen, pencil, anything. As your time together ends, remember that whatever you have thought, learned, or felt, here is now a part of you. The child is also part of you. You will come to know, trust, and help each other. Now take some energizing breaths, inhaling more slowly than you exhale. Count to 6 as you breathe in. Count to 3 as you breathe out. On the last count, open your eyes. Look at your hands and imagine that a child's hands are still inside them. You are one and the same person, but different. You can protect. I care for your inner child. Don't forget to make notes of your thoughts, impressions, associations, and feelings. Meeting one's inner child is an experience both common and very unique. Instructions like the ones we have given you now will change spontaneously when you are with your child, but some ritual does help. So does meeting regularly. If you find that you resist, for instance, if you fear that revisiting the past will imprison you there forever, or if you feel weaker than your inner child, follow the additional suggestions in the following exercise, or just wait. Curiosity will tell you when you are ready. Your child may appear in a safe place you have imagined, or in rooms the child knows that your conscious mind had forgotten. Eventually, you will bring your child into the present and show her or him where you live now. An important step in bringing the parts of your life together, you will follow this. You will recognize the feelings or absences of feelings that protected you in childhood, but are not necessary anymore. Even without this vegetative trance state, you will be able to comfort the child, to re-experience feelings, or perhaps to experience them now as you couldn't then, and to know that painful past events were not your fault. You deserve to be loved and cared, and as you always did. Re-entering the past as your own protective parent does not change it, but it can change your emotional response to the past events. The traditional benefit of hypnosis is remembering what the conscious mind has repressed. Self-hypnosis offers that, and also the activist benefit of self-empowerment and intervention. After all, no one, not a therapist or friends or even parents, know the experiences, feelings, and needs of your inner child. Only you do. What about your future self? In your meditation, you met your child, your inner children, really, since they will come to you at different times, at different ages. Whenever you need the creativity and spontaneity of childhood, or childhood self needs your comfort and protection, you can find them within. But your present self travels towards the future all the time. That is a place not only of safety, but also of hope, dreams, and the greatest strength of your true self. If you let it, the true self will lead you. For this, you no longer need to visit rooms of the past. Instead, you will sense all the powers of nature within you. Thus, once you have gone through the first step of the induction as usual, you will add the new passage, or whatever version of it you prefer and choose. Listen through it, first to see if you would like to make changes. You will be conjuring up your own magic place in nature. Let us continue. Ask that back of the mind part of you to imagine a beautiful natural scene that you would like to be part of. The ocean's edge, the beach, the pine woods, a mountain view, a river at sunrise, moonlit fields, whatever images arrive. There is a path or a road in which you have been traveling. It stretches out in front of you further than the eye can see. It is your life's journey. Take a moment to use your senses and feel this place, the breeze, the ocean spray, the sun, starlight, the scent of the flowers, the sound of water, whatever comes to you with pleasure. Now, imagine that there is a figure on the path ahead of you, walking where you have not walked, seeing what you have yet to see. It is your future self, wiser, more evolved, more productive, stronger, at peace, whatever you would like to be. This is your best self, your guide, who is leading you on life's path. Pause to observe everything you can about this person. How does she or he look? What is her mannerisms like? What emotions does she or he elicit in you? What bond do you see or feel within her or him? How is he or she different from you as now, or the same? How does this future self feel toward the child in you? How does the child you feel about this future self? Now imagine that you are that future self, and you are looking back at yourself as you are now. As the future guide, how do you feel about this present self? Do you want to help him or her? What do you want her or him to know? What important things must she or he do or understand before becoming this best and future self? Pause and think about the self-wisdom your future self is giving you. Let the conscious part of your mind take note of this gift from the unconscious. If it is too much to absorb now, ask your unconscious to start it up and give it to you at exactly the right time. As your current self, say, I will become you. As your future self, say, I will always be inside you. Leave a part of yourself to stay on this path, walking into the future, becoming more and more what you wish to be. Let the scene fade from your imagination. Breathe deep and energizing breaths as before, and slowly open your eyes. Write down in your journal what seems most important, surprising, wise. Make a new section for this future self. You will be visiting each other often. Now, there are alternate ways of meeting your future self. Imagine a figure ahead of you on life's path is one way. You might also think about a desired future event and imagine your future self with it. Or imagine protecting your future self, who advises you in hard times, celebrates in good ones, always there for you to ask, what would my guide say? The remarkable thing is that contemplating this best self will bring out those qualities in you and enable you to do seemingly impossible feats. For instance, if you have been stopped from visiting your inner child by a screen of fear, if you simply cannot go back as your present self, try asking your future self to visit that child. You will send back all your strengths, and your future self may be able to comfort the child of the past in a way you cannot do in the present. Imagining yourself being led by both is the balance of past and future. Your child self brings you spontaneity and creativity. Your future self brings you wisdom and strength. Many people, one or the other, for help with a problem at hand, or remember each morning as a guide to the day. With that, I shall make a pause, and I shall meet you again by the next episode. Until then, keep smiling and be happy. Thank you for sharing this episode with me. Be happy.